Greetings, dear tankers. In the middle of the 20th century, the French Ministry of Defense suggested developing a light tank to support the infantry and which could be transported by plane. The ELC, Engin Léger de Combat program, created a series of fantastic projects and prototypes. However, as a result, the traditional AMX vehicle was produced. The World of Tanks version of this light tank is very unusual, and it differs completely from the other Tier 5 tanks. Let's take a closer look at the life of this light tank in the world of steel monsters. The first thing you will notice is the low hit points on this vehicle. It has only 400. Compared to the T-52, the ELC AMX is lower by 160 points, and compared to the VK-2801, it is lower by 210 points. As a result, duels are not recommended. The ELC AMX has paper-thin armor. The frontal armor is only 14mm, while the side armor is 12mm and the rear armor is 10mm. Penetrating this armor is not difficult, even for Tier 1 guns. Unlike your Tier 5 brothers, you have the lowest view range. If you have a 100% trained crew, you can spot a tank from about 360 meters away. The view range of the eagle-eyed Chaffee is 40 meters longer. Unfortunately, you'll also receive the weakest radio at this tier. Its range is only 360 meters. Compare this radio with the Chaffee's radio, which can send information to its teammates from 745 meters away. In addition, the AMX's engine is located in the front of the vehicle. This is a disadvantage because it will definitely be damaged if you are foolish enough to face your enemies head-on, and your turret can turn only 30 degrees to each side. If it sounds like everything on this tank is bad, you are totally wrong, because all of these cons are compensated for by some incredible pros. The acceleration of the AMX ELC can be compared to that the T-52 has, even when it hits maximum speed, due to its low weight, which is only 8 tons. To be honest, the Soviet LT has a light advantage, but its turning speed is worse than yours, even if it's equipped with a removed speed governor. Only the slick Chaffee is a bit more maneuverable than the French AMX tank. In addition, you also have a lower rate of terrain resistance than other Tier 5 tanks, which gives you better traction. All in all, we consider the ELC AMX to be one of the most dynamic tanks in the game. This French tank is the smallest Tier 5 light tank. Compared to its steel brothers, it is shorter, narrower, and not as long. Its small size combined with its great speed gives you a feeling of invulnerability to enemy shells that land nearby. With its high camouflage value, most of which depends on the tank's size, you can really feel superior to your enemies. Anyway, the top-tier 90mm weapon gives the ELC AMX the ability to directly affect the outcome of the battle. Let's take a closer look at its characteristics. If you use regular ammunition, penetration of this gun averages 170mm, and if you use premium ammunition, it averages 248mm. The armor of almost any vehicle the AMX may face with can't stand it. It averages 240 damage as well, so it can hurt any enemy, even if it's one as strong as the mouse. It has a long aiming time, about 3 seconds, and a low rate of fire, around 5 rounds per minute, just to keep you from destroying everything on the map. Now that you know all of the tactical and technical characteristics of this unique tank, we'll show you how to use your additional modules and the skills of your crew to make your advantage even stronger. If you have been paying attention to the things we say, you already understand that the purpose of the ELC AMX is to do damage to your enemies. Even though its speed helps you scout, the radio is just too weak for such a job. So here are the 2 most basic combinations. 1. If you use an attack from behind tactic, you'd better buy the medium caliber tank gun rammer, enhanced gun laying drive, and improved ventilation. You will have a higher rate of fire, shorter aiming time, and faster reloading speed. It lets you move quickly or run away from tough opponents down narrow passages. 2. If you choose a sniper tactic or active scout, you should try the typical TD build: medium caliber tank gun rammer, coated optics, and binocular telescope. At the beginning, you should perform the sniper role from behind a bush, and at the end you should look for lone enemies to pick off. You definitely want to take advantage of your pros, so choose perks carefully. 1. If you prefer to use flanking maneuvers, your crew should train camouflage skill to make your movement stealthier. The commander should also learn Sixth Sense and Deadeye, and your driver should train in off-road driving and clutch braking. 2. If you decided that your destiny is to be a scout sniper, you need to have camouflage skill. This skill is essential to survival for any light tank, so you should train it first. The commander may also train his sixth sense and Deadeye perks. Your driver should learn Smooth Ride first, because you will always want to keep a safe distance of at least 15 meters behind a bush. You may choose the last perk yourself. Although a lot of light tank commanders like to train their repair skill, however, it is pretty much useless for such type of vehicle. If you stop while your enemies are aiming at your tank, you are already having a ticket to hangar due to your low hit points and thin armor. As always, the best build for your crew and modules depends on your playstyle, and at the same time, your playstyle depends on your creativity. You should develop tactical techniques of your own. We'll just give you a little advice to prevent serious mistakes on the battlefield. The first piece of advice is never to fight head-to-head. Your engine is located in the front of the hull, and it won't let you perform maneuvers after a duel, even if you win. If it happens, you'll have to hide behind a bush. The second bit of advice is to engage the enemy when surprised, while moving around or behind the enemy, or while getting to cover behind a rock. Third, you shouldn't appear at one position twice, especially when the enemy may be aiming at that spot. You should wait until the enemy completely loses sight of you. Fourth, watch the minimap and for enemies that are concentrated on fighting. You can get an easy frag as well as a thankful ally by destroying such an enemy. Fifth, don't get caught in the middle of the battle. Analyze the situation, and only after part of the enemy team is destroyed, you can make an end run to get to their artillery. Finally, you should use cover that protects you from the enemy as often as possible. Your awesome speed will keep you safe even in very dangerous situations, but you are still vulnerable to attack. Overall, the ELC AMX is a great tank for truly creative and experienced players. But those of you who want to buy the ELC to have a lot of fun on the battlefield will make the right choice. In addition, you should keep in mind that this is one of the hardest light tanks in the game to control. But it is capable of things any other Tier 5 tank could never do. That's it for now. We hope this video will help you make the right decision. We look forward to reading your comments on the forums. See you next time.